Hey guys, welcome back. This is just a little extension to the Candace Owens Epstein Connection Part 2. So this one is going to be titled the Candace Owens Epstein Connection Part 2.5, or the extension or the update, something like that. But of course, as soon as I got done putting the video all together, had it all edited and ready to go, I think I had already put it on YouTube. I remember I did forget one thing that I wanted to put in the video, and it is this. Remember how I mentioned, and you have to watch part 2 first. Now, in part 2, I mentioned that there definitely was some shady stuff going on in the Department of Planning and Natural Resources in St. Thomas. Article about the checks that were in the DPNR that were supposed to go to somewhere else. Then we have Brent Blyden, who was the permits guy. He goes to prison. Yeah, so there's definitely things going on there. Okay, so I stumbled upon this article and I found it completely by accident. Alright, so the DPNR in the Virgin Islands, the article is dated April 6, 2022. The Department of Planning and Natural Resources said that the Division of Permits will be discarding files received between 2011 and 2017, according to the DPNR Commissioner Jean-Pierre Oriol. So, and it says right here, as stipulated, basically, they only have to hold on to construction plans and files for 6 months after the building receives its certificate of occupancy. So it makes sense that they would toss them. What doesn't make sense is these files go all the way back to 2011. We're talking about files between a very specific period, 2011 to 2017. That timeline is the exact same timeline of when Joseph Blyden was doing the permits, when the pool was built, when Jeffrey Epstein bought the greater St. James Island and started building on the greater St. James Island, because that's the island that he was getting hit with the fines for, because Joseph Blyden was gone as of 2014. And then in 2015 and 16, that's when Epstein started getting hit with the fines for what he was building and how he was building it on the greater St. James Island. Because it's little St. James, that's where the house and the temple, and little St. James is what we know as Epstein Island. So it's just kind of weird that all of a sudden in 2022, all of a sudden they decide that they're going to purge all of the construction plans that they have that are dated between 2011 and 2017. Like I said, that would definitely include quite a lot of construction plans and files that have to do with Epstein, Little St. James, Great St. James, and Joseph Biden. So, me, when I saw this, I was like, this seems kind of strange to me, and I put it in the pile for the video. I just completely forgot to put it into the main video. But I wanted to make sure that I did make this little video, and I did catch it in time, so it will premiere at the same time as part 2. It'll just be a separate video. So thank you so much for tuning in, and let me know what you guys think. If you, after you watch part 2, you watch this part, what do you think about them suddenly purging all the documents, the construction plans and everything from 2011 to 2017 in 2022? They waited until 2022 to do it. Like, they could have done it any time after the people got the certificate of occupancy. But instead, they hoarded the records all that time. And then for some reason in 2022, it's time to get rid of everything we have between 2011 and 2017. And like I said, that timeline just happens to line up with with Jeffrey Epstein purchasing Great St. James, doing building on that, getting violations for building on that. I don't know. Like I said, let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you later.